All right, what this is going to be is a little primer on what we're calling the Math Zone Homework Lab Log Notebook. And I did this one for Math 1108 that we'll be doing. And what I decided, I had some free time, that I would do all of the study plan. So I want you to have an idea of what it will be like. So as we open it up, and of course you'll put your name on the front cover, you're going to have here what we call the rubric, which will be checked usually weekly, and then kind of an idea of where you are in terms of what you're doing for your study plan, and the record that you're keeping, and the neatness and orderliness in a mathematical way that will be evaluated, and its categories 1 through 5. Generally, students are in the 4 and the 5, and many are in 5. And in fact, some are so good that I give them a 6. So this will be the recorded times that we meet in lab to have it checked, and then we just look at it. Now we put a stamp that indicates where we checked it last, or in this first case, the first time, and then as you take your notes. Now what I wanted to show you is that we'd like you to label the sections that you're doing. And here, this is section 1.2. It deals with polynomials. And I knew about this, so I didn't do the practice. Now, if you're doing practice, you can include it here in your notes, in your homework log in a neat and orderly way. You number your examples, show the steps you did to get to the answer. But I always want the quiz-me's, which are things in MATLAB that you use to earn mastery points. Now, in Math 1103, you have 4 quiz-me's. In Math 1108, you have 3 quiz-me's. Now, you are allowed to get one wrong, and that will still give you mastery of that particular topic. So, for instance, in Math 1103, there are 120 mastery points. In Math 1108, I believe there's only 96, and I just finished those today. So what I've done is I've carefully highlighted the quiz-me's after labeling them, and then just to page through this a little bit, you get an idea. I don't care what color highlights you use. Now I did mine in ink, and of course sometimes pencil, especially if you're not sure about something and you're going to guess at it. I used whiteout from time to time, and I did make errors. Now if you miss more than one of your questions, then in order to retake that quiz-me, you must do at least one practice, get that correct, and then the quiz-me is reactivated, and you can take the quiz-me's as many times as needed to earn those mastery points. And I'm just showing you some pages so you get an idea of what I've included and what a homework log might look like. We do some graphing, we do T-charts, we do inequalities. I've labeled that, we're in chapter 2 already. And I'll show this page. This is the last page I finished. I got 96 out of 96 mastery. Again, this was for Math 1108. I also did this for Math 1103. So I actually went through to get the feel of what your study plan would be like. And then what I'm working on now is self-assessments. Yeah, we get phone calls every once in a while. So this is the self-assessments that you can do. And what this is like a test, but it doesn't count toward your grade, but it's like a practice test. So what I did is I did this one today, this morning. After I finished it, I did it on chapter 1, and I'll be doing the others. And I got a 90% on it, and I was a little disappointed. I was shooting for 100. But what did I get wrong? Well, when I copied example 3 down here, this was supposed to be a 1, and somehow I copied a 6. So what I did here is I made the t-chart to get my x and y intercepts, but since I copied it wrong, I had the wrong answer. But if on a test you have something like this where you copied it incorrectly, I would give you partial credit for this. So again, we're looking for skill of knowing how to do the question they're asking. But, I'm not going to make it all wrong because you miscopied an example. Again, you want to work on getting stuff accurately. And then I had a little break and I changed pens here. Got all of these right. Then I had one other wrong. Oh, it was on this last one here again. Now, in my booklet here for number 20, it wanted me again to find the intercepts, and I did, and this was correct. But then when I went to the lab and put it in, I hit one of the wrong buttons. Instead of hitting a 6 here, I think I hit the 5. Well, but I had the work here. So for something like that, I would give you full credit. That's why we're saying your record keeping, being neat and orderly, and numbering your work, and allowing us, all the teachers are going to do this, that as we check your blue sheets on which you take your test, we can give you partial, or in some cases, full credit. Well, I keep this short. This wraps up what the homework log is, what we expect, and again, a good place to keep your work in a neat and orderly way.